You have a northern truck or some rusty frame rails? Let's talk about it. Hey there, viewers. Today working on a 4Runner. It's got a little bit of rust underneath the underside. It was a northern truck. One of the things I like to point out is that there's a safe and an unsafe point for rust under a truck. This truck has a fair amount of rust in the welds, which is usually where the rust starts. So it's not going to be too terrible. It looks worse than it is. The important thing is we want to make sure that we protect that from rusting in the future. And how we do that is we descale it with a wire brush. Use a wire brush cup on a drill, use a wire brush cup on a grinder, and handheld wire brush, smaller wire brushes, screwdrivers, picks, whatever you got to use to get into the tight spaces. But you want to descale and all the rust that's on the surface off so that you have something for undercoating to adhere to. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use rust reformer after we get this nice and clean. And it doesn't have to be down to bare metal. You just need to make sure that you get all the flaky stuff off so that the Rust-Oleum's got something to stick to. We're going to put a good solid coat of rust reformer on, which will actually chemically react with the rust, and it makes it where it will not continue to rust, kills the rust, seals the rust, and then we can go back with undercoating on top of that. Once it's sealed in good and we know that we're not going to have any spreading rust, then we put the undercoating on top of everything, and that gives it a protective layer. It's kind of like a rubberized. Now this process does take some time, probably 2 days, 2 solid days. Actually it was about a 3-day project, but taking things apart that I could take apart, making sure I cleaned all the frame rails real good and cleaned all the major components. Now you'll notice that I didn't spray the exhaust. Rusty exhaust is rusty exhaust. You don't want to spray this stuff on exhaust parts. I also don't spray it on drive shaft or moving parts, and the main reason being is because you don't want to throw off the balance of the drive shafts and do that silly stuff, or accidentally knock off weights off the drive shaft, which cause vibration down the road. So focusing on frame rails, the important thing is the frame rails. Make sure you get a good coating on them. Seal up everything. Make sure that everything is nice, coated, and sealed. You're going to see some before and afters in this video where I do a walkthrough of what the truck looked like before, what the truck looked like after. I don't show the complete video because I actually took off parts of the belly pan and I sprayed those separately. Same thing with some guards, and it looks 1,000 times better now that everything's coated. I even sprayed the spare tire just to make sure that it's protected as well, so that it'll be still in good use when the customer needs it. A job like this can be done do it yourself. It's ideally if you have a lift, it makes the job 1,000 times easier. But you could do this in your driveway if you had put it up on jack stands, so you can access the underside. You will need very good access to the bottom side. I think the hardest part of this whole job was probably the rear end. Now I see some people that just spray underliner, and it's not advised that you just spray underliner. You want to seal it up first. You want to convert the rust. Some people use a product called POR 15. Some people use Rust-Oleum. You want to use some sort of rust reformer or rust converter, and I recommend doing that before you undercoat it, so you're not sealing in rust that's just going to continue. You want to convert the rust first, make sure it's dead. A lot of people will just spray the frame rails. That's not the right move. You want to make sure you clean everything first. Wire brushes, chisels, screwdrivers, whatever you got to do to get in there to get all the flaky stuff off. It doesn't have to be down to bare metal. Now if you were to pay a shop to do this job for you, you're probably looking in the neighborhood of, on a minimum, is probably about $500-600. So that's if they're just spraying it. If they're going in and cleaning it, you're probably looking at $1,000 or better, and depending on how thorough they are. And if they're going to break it all down the way that this one was done, you're probably looking closer to $2-3 grand. So, which sounds like a lot for undercoating, which it is. It's a lot of money, but you're also talking about a lot of labor when you're talking about 20-30 hours worth of sanding everything down, getting every nook and cranny, and making sure that you got everything separated and taken apart, and so you're not just spraying over everything. You're trying to get in every spot. It can get pricey. Now you could do this yourself. I went through about a dozen cans of rust reformer and 4 or 5 cans of undercoating. Now, I didn't put the undercoating on everything. I put the undercoating on the critical parts, like the frame rails and the cross members and stuff like that. I wasn't spraying control arms with undercoating. I don't advise putting undercoating on anything that moves, but the to each their own. I'm sure there's a ton of different philosophies on this, and I'll probably have somebody in the comments that are going to throw some hate my way on this one, but I do believe in being thorough. I'm a little OCD like that. I believe that it turned out quite nicely. Yes, obviously there it could be done better. If I took the whole cab off the chassis and sent the chassis out to get powder coated or sandblasted and powder coated, that would be better. And then undercoated or whatever. Yeah, it could certainly have gone further than I did, but I did the best I could without taking the cab off. Well, I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop those down in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them as quickly as I can. As always, please like, share, and subscribe.